Hello students, welcome to Indraprastha PU College and welcome to mathematics video class. So because of lockdown we cannot meet here, so we are meeting in a video, so don't worry, anyhow you will be coming to college as soon as possible. So in your previous class, that means in the 10th, you have studied some of the concepts, that is like trigonometric functions and permutations, combinations you have studied, and also this one arithmetic progression. So all that topics again we are going to discuss now itself. So in that also you have studied trigonometry functions, that is very important concept. So we are continuing the same topics. But in that you have studied only in the first quadrant. The angles are in the first quadrant. But here we are going to study the angles in all the quadrants, first, second, third and fourth quadrant. So that is the main thing we are going to study in the first few classes. And in one more thing is you have studied the distance formula, section formula and midpoint formula. Same formulas also we have to continue now also. So we will study that later. Before that, I'll start new chapter. So that is a new concept also for you. That is a sets. The topic name will be sets. So we are going to study the new chapter sets. So we'll see what is set means. In our daily life, we are getting many collection of collections or bundles. So we can say collection of objects or collection of chairs or collection of books or collection or a bundle of chalk pieces, or we can say collection of flowers, or it is a collection of state or collection of rivers or set. So that collection is called the set. So the collection, you can say the object that chairs or tables or chalk pieces or flowers as an object, then we can say the collection of all that objects is called a set. The collection of all the object is a set. So I can say one of the example I can give, the collection of flowers. The collection of flowers I can say, or the collection of rivers I can say, collection of rivers I can say, or the collection of books, the collection of books. These are the sets. So all the collections, what we call the collection, that a collection is called a set. One more thing, so one of the collection I can say, the collection of all the talented students of a class. The collection of all talented students of a class. So in this collection, what happens is, so I can say one boy is a talented one. One boy, this boy is talented. So according to me, that boy is a talented one. But according to someone else or according to you, that student may not be the talented one. Some other student may be the talented one. So what happens? The talent is a word that varies from person to person. For me, one person is a talented one. For you, that person may not be the talented person. So that talent word varies from person to person. So that is also a collection. The collection of talented students of a class, or the collection of all tallest tree or something else, tallest person in a world. That also, so I can say that person is the tallest one, but some other can say, he is not the tallest one, someone else will be the tallest one. So that tallest or talented or most eligible, that most, when we use the word most, that is that is a collection, but that is not a well-defined collection. So to become it is a set, that a collection should be well defined. So we can see the collection of flowers. I just said it is collection of flowers. So that is the beautiful flowers or any other flowers, but the collection of flowers. So this becomes a set. The collection of rivers. So any rivers I can say. So this is also a set. The collection of books, any books, story books or textbooks or notebook, any book. So it is also a collection. But if I write the collection of all talented students of a class. So when we use the talent word, so that talent word varies from person to person. So this is not a set. This is not a set. Only these three are the collections, and that is called the set. So what is the definition of a set? Set is a well-defined collection of objects. So I can say these rivers, books, flowers and students as an object or element. So these are the well-defined. There is no confusion whether it is a collection, flower, or there is no confusion in the statement. So it becomes a set. But there is a confusion, talented. There is a confusion, so this is not a set. So the definition of a set is, so you can take this as an example. The collection of the well-defined collection of objects is called a set. So you can write the definition as the well-defined collection of a object is called a set. A well-defined collection of object is called a set. Objects is called a set. So this is the definition you can take. The well-defined or a well-defined collection of objects is a set. So the examples are the collection of flowers, the collection of rivers, the collection of books. You can write, first you write the definition, and after the definition write these examples: collection of flowers, collection of rivers, collection of books. And you take this exam, the collection of all talented students of a class. So this is not a set, because here we have used the word talent, and that varies from person to person. So this is not a set. So we can give some other example which is not a set. The collection of all most famous writers of India. So we cannot say who is most famous or the famous writers of India, or we can say the best batsman in a cricket team, the collection of all best batsmen in a cricket team. So these are the example for not a set. It is not a set because we have used the word talented or best or most. When we use that words, so that is not a set. So first write the definition, then the example. So instead of giving all these flowers, rivers or books, we can give some other mathematical examples also. The set of all or the collection. We can now, after defining the definition of a set, we can say it is a set also. The set of all natural numbers we can say, or the set of all integers, or set of all whole numbers, set of all rational numbers. All that that is also a set. So there is no confusion whether it is a most, or there is no confusion in the statement. So that is also a set. Usually we denote a set by a capital letters. So how to denote that set? Suppose the set is a collection of flowers or set of all. We can say that. So examples I can write. We can denote a set by a capital letter. So set A is equal to set of all flowers. Set of all flowers I can say. Or set B is one more set. Set of rivers. Set of rivers I can define, or other. Set of all books. Set of all books I can say, or set of all English alphabets. Set of all English alphabets I can say, or I can say set of all vowels I can say, set of all ovals, or we know that the natural numbers is a set, integers, whole numbers, real numbers. So that also there is a standard symbol for that. So natural numbers we write it as n. N is a set of natural numbers, set of natural numbers. So this is also one more. And z, set of integers, set of integers I can say. Then r, set of real numbers, set of real numbers, or I can say some other z or w, set of whole numbers, and q, set of rational numbers. So these are the examples for a set. Usually we denote a set by a capital letters. And the elements, set of flowers means the elements, many flowers, rose, jasmine, or that are the element, so that we write in a small letters. Or we can say set of natural numbers means the numbers 1, 2, 3 and so on, and it continues. So that is called the elements of that set. Now n is a set, so that is a set of natural numbers. When we consider the element of that, natural numbers mean the elements are 1, 2, 3 and so on. So that is the elements of set. Similarly, set of ovals means, set of all ovals means a, e, I, o, u, these are the elements of that. So for that set E, that is called the ovals. And if this is a set, the elements are which one? A, E, I, O, U. These are the elements of this set E, set of ovals. So when I take A, now that element A is in this set, because set of ovals, element A in this set E, so we can say this A belongs to set E. A belongs to that C. So if I consider the element as B, now B is not a oval, so that element does not belongs to this set of oval, so B does not belongs to E. And if I consider E is this oval, so that is in the set, so E belongs to E, I can say, the set E. Or I is the element, I is the oval, so that belongs to this E, means I belongs to E. If I take P is not a oval, so that P does not belongs to E. So how we denote that? So we denote that by writing a symbol. Suppose A is an element that belongs to E. That E belongs to E. So this is the symbol epsilon. This is a symbol epsilon. We read it as epsilon. So A is belongs to, A is the element of E, because A is a oval, oval is a set, E is a set of oval, so that belongs to E means A belongs to E. So we read it as A belongs to E, belongs, this read it as belongs to. A belongs to E, and the symbol is, this symbol is a Greek word, that is epsilon. A belongs to E. If I consider some other B, B does not, this means belongs. So if I write one line here, then does not belongs to E. If I write this one, this implies A is an element of E, so A belongs to E. If I write B is not an element, then I have to write B does not belongs to E. So this is a does not belong. So these are the symbol that is that we call it as epsilon. Epsilon. A is the element of E, A belongs to E, and B is the element, B does not belongs to E. So this is the representation of a set, as well as if element belongs to that set, so how to write that element belongs to set and element does not belongs to set. So these are the methods of writing a set. Then now here we are writing all the set of all real numbers, set of all flowers, set of all ovals, set of all English alphabets, or set of all natural numbers, or set of all even numbers. So we are writing like that. Now there are two methods to represent or to write a given set. There are two methods of writing or representing a set. Two methods of two methods to represent a set. There are two methods to represent a set. One is roster or tabular form. One is roster or tabular form. Second one is set builder form. There are two methods to represent a set. One is roster or tabular form. One more, set builder form. So in these two methods, we can represent a set. So the first one is roster or tabular form. So what is that set? If I say the set A is a set of all even numbers. The set of all even numbers. We know which are the elements of that say even numbers. Only the even numbers. 2, 4, 6 even numbers are continuous up to infinity. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12 so on. So these are the even numbers. So when we write that element or when we list out all that elements, then that becomes a roster or tabular form of a set. How to write a set in the roster or tabular form? We have to list out all the elements of that set. And each element should be separated by the commas. And we have to write that elements inside the flower bracket. So that is the representation of a set in the roster form. If I say the even numbers or if I say the ovals, the set of ovals, I'll take the example. I am discussing about roster or tabular form. So example, A is a set. What is that? The set of all ovals. If I say it is a set of all ovals, then I can write this in the roster or a tabular form by listing all the elements of this set. So which are the ovals? I can say we have to write the elements in a flower bracket and all the elements A, E, I, O and U within the flower bracket, and each element should be separated by the commas. So if I write this given set in this form, so this is the representation of a set in the roster or tabular form. Or if I can write set of all even numbers. B is a set, the set of all even numbers. The elements, we can list out the elements of even numbers, all the even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. All the elements are listed and the elements are separated by the commas, and I have written that inside the flower bracket. So this is the representation of a given set in the tabular form. Thank you.